Hello, Yuma. I'm Quentin Grafton. I'm an Australian Research Council Laureate Fellow, Professor here at the Australian National University, and most importantly, from this perspective, I'm the convener of the Water Justice Hub. I'm talking to you from Ngunnawal country. This is country where these people, the Ngunnawal people, have been for thousands of years. This is country they never ceded. And this is country where I acknowledge my presence. And it's a country where I acknowledge the elders, past, present, and emerging. Thank you for joining us at the Water Justice Hub. We have a great team, and I believe we have a great vision. And we're going to be working with communities to deliver water justice. So what is water justice? Well, water justice isn't about law and order. It's about communities. It's about society making sure that everybody, and I mean everybody, and their communities get a fair share. So, who are we and what are we seeking to do? Well, who are we? We're a team, as I said, a team of researchers. We have early career researchers who have experience and expertise in economics, in geography. We have expertise in terms of hydrology. We have expertise in understanding traditional ecological knowledge in the context of water. And we have expertise in a whole range of issues associated with non-market valuation. And myself, I'm an economist with expertise in water and natural resources. So we intend to partner with key communities in Western Australia, in the Warrwa River. We intend to work with communities in the northern basin of the Murray-Darling Basin, and if COVID permits us, in Western Canada, in British Columbia.
Yiridu Marang. My name is Dr. Virginia Marshall, and I am the inaugural postdoctoral fellow for the National Australian University in Canberra, Australia. We are going to do some really important work in water resources, and the word justice appears as a strong and important and significant contribution that we wish to make. I'm also very honoured to carry out the research that is very important to our work in Australia, which means Indigenous peoples over this country are still waiting for justice in many ways. So my part in this is as an advisory panel member and also a team member. And this work can't be done without communities, and acknowledging that the wealth of information and ability to really make change begins in our communities. And it's important that governments listen and also other stakeholders really acknowledge that we are the key stakeholder in water resources, and our passion to protect, our obligation to carry out and exercise our customs, laws and practices. So these things are really important to me, and I hope they're important to you. Mandangur.
Hello, my name is Adamowicz. I'm an environmental economist. I'm located at the University of Alberta, and my university and I are located on Treaty 6 territory. We respect the histories, languages, cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. My contribution to the Water Justice Hub, my area of expertise, is environmental valuation. This is assessing the value of ecosystem services, of contributions to water, air, other services arising from natural capital. More recently, I've been working to try to better understand valuation, economic valuation, from an Indigenous community perspective. So the standard approach is also really based on Western science, and we've been trying to think on how to incorporate Indigenous knowledge and traditional knowledge within concepts around environmental valuation. And I've had the pleasure to be able to converse and work with groups from Indigenous communities who have been interested in these issues as well. So that's the kind of expertise that I would bring to the group, and I really feel that I would benefit from learning more about the issues around the environment and natural capital and valuation in Australia, and I can share my experiences from Canada and North America on valuation and the environment and Indigenous communities and their perspectives on these topics in Canada.
Hello, my name is Ana Manero, and I'm a postdoc research fellow at the Laureate project within the Water Justice Hub. This is Nuga country in Western Australia's southwest. This here is the Star Swamp Reserve next to where I live in Perth. In winter, the groundwater table rises so close to the ground that this bushland becomes a beautiful swamp. I have always been fascinated about water. In fact, I like water so much that I made a career out of it. In 2018, I completed my PhD in Environmental and Development Economics at the Crawford School of Public Policy within the Australian National University. My research looked at how water equity was associated with economic inequalities within small farming communities in Tanzania. Prior to my PhD, I worked in the water industry for 6 years in Australia and in Europe. My bachelor's and my master's were in civil and environmental engineering, which I studied in Barcelona, Paris, and Berkeley. My current research interests are around understanding the interactions between humans and the natural environment, in particular water. I use a combination of quantitative and qualitative methods, and I draw for a range of disciplines, including economics, hydrology, social and environmental sciences. As part of the Water Justice Hub, I will be working in the Northern Murray-Darling Basin on questions around water values and water justice among Australia's First Peoples.
My name's John Williams. I'm part of the Water Justice Hub and very delighted to be part of the ANU Water Justice Hub. Because as I stand here speaking to you, I'm speaking from Ngunnawal country, and I'm very happy to acknowledge the sovereignty of that country to our First Nations people. And this hub is about trying to work through how we bring water justice, in my instance as an Australian, how we do that in the next stage of water reform. I come to this task with a long background in hydrology and research into landscapes and river functions. But I also bring a history of trying to take the science when I was Chief of CSIRO and later Commissioner for Natural Resources in the New South Wales Government, a commitment to take the science and understanding we have, along with the social process and understanding we have of how water is so fundamental to life, and how water is connected and integrated with vegetation and country to produce the landscapes we love. And that's why I'm part of this hub. I want to bring to this hub something of my insights to how water works in the landscape and what it means to people, First Nation people and settler people, and how we might work towards a just and better way of utilising our rivers and preserving their function and maintaining a way forward with healthy systems, healthy people and healthy rivers.
Mabubara, ngajunu nilawala and Poelina, ngayu imaruara manan, nga mandajara Nyikina nga Nyikina nganga. My name is Dr. Anne Poelina and I'm a woman who belongs to the Fitzroy River. So my aim in life and my fiduciary duty is to protect the Fitzroy River. I am also trained in terms of being a biophysical and a social scientist, and one of the things that in the last 3 or 4 years I've been studying very intensively Indigenous first law or customary law. My role and plan with the Australian National University Water Justice Hub is that I am a research fellow with the hub. And so my plan is to share the story of the Fitzroy River, the Warrwa, the Fitzroy River in the Kimberley region of Western Australia, and to ensure that this river is showcased and preserved for generations to come.
G'day, my name's Paul Wyrwoll. I'm a research fellow here at the Australian National University's Institute for Water Futures and also the Crawford School of Public Policy. I live and work on Ngunnawal and Ngambri land, and I'm reminded of this every day when I look around the waterways of Canberra, including Lake Burley-Griffin behind me, and seeing how European colonisation has really drastically altered these waterways and the values that they provide to people and ecosystems as well. I'm an economist by training, and I work on the economics of water policy and regulation. My research background involves looking at the regulation of multi-purpose hydropower projects, of dynamic water pricing, and also how we can design participatory processes so that we can blend different types of knowledge around decision-making on how water is allocated. As a start on this, I'm coordinating some work in the Northern Murray-Darling Basin around water quality and public health. What we're looking at there is the economic costs of poor water quality, which can be caused by drought, climate change, and of course upstream water extractions as well. I'm really excited to be part of this team and part of this project, and I look forward to sharing with you the results of our work and engaging with you along the way. Thanks very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Kat Taylor and I'm a Research Fellow at the Water Justice Hub. I'm talking to you from Broome, which is the land of the Yawuru people here in Western Australia in the Kimberley region. I've been really lucky to be living here for nearly 10 years. It's an absolutely beautiful place. It's a biodiversity hotspot and the culture here is really unique. While I've been here, I've been really fortunate to collaborate with people who are absolute visionaries for water, including recently in my PhD, I partnered with Wallaku Aboriginal Corporation and Nyikina people. We were looking at questions around water governance and what are some of the options for transforming that in Australia? What are some of the pathways for decolonisation? I've got a background in environmental science and water policy, and I'm looking forward to building on my skills and building on this work in this new project with the ARC Laureate. Soon we'll be co-designing a brand new research project that is really going to be looking at the way water justice is understood in Australia and asking some of those questions. Given that we know that business as usual with water is just not working, what do we do next? I'm looking forward to talking with you all and hopefully see you soon.
I thank you again for joining us here at the Water Justice Hub. I thank you for being part of what we are trying to achieve. And I thank you and join on our journey to make a better outcome for all and to deliver water justice for all. Thank you.